Hi, welcome to the Dartarian Show. I'm Alexander Dartarian.
And I'm Dominic Sykes.
And we're doing Urban Legends West Virginia. We're going to focus on one in particular, though. Probably one of the most famous urban legends out of West Virginia, Mothman.
Mothman.
Yep. If anyone's ever seen the 2002 movie with Richard Gere, I suggest it. It's really good.
Actually a really good movie.
Yeah. And there's also books and everything else. Pretty much, if you want to find Mothman content, you're going to find Mothman content.
Yeah.
It's famous as crap. All right.
No more famous anywhere in the world than in Point Pleasant.
Yep. Let's get into the history that is Mothman.
Let's do it.
On November 15th, 1966, two young couples from Point Pleasant, Roger and Linda Scarberry, and Steve and Mary Mallette, told police they saw a large gray creature whose eyes, quote, glowed red, end quote, when the car's headlights picked it up. They described it as a, quote, large flying man with a 10-foot wings span, like huge wings.
Like the figure of a dude, just with big wings and red eyes.
Yep. So he looked like a man, but had a 10-foot wingspan, like wings.
Wow.
Following their car while they were driving in the area outside the town known as the TNT area, the site of a former World War II munitions plant. So that's where they built. Like in World War II, they used they did a lot of bombs, planes, and everything. There was pretty much the factories were all over the place. Right. So it's an abandoned munitions factory. During the next few days, other people reported similar sightings. Two volunteer firemen who saw it said it was a large bird with red eyes. Mason County Sheriff George Johnson commented that he believed the sightings were due to an unusually large heron he termed a shite poke.
A shite poke?
Yep.
So he thinks it's just a big crane-like bird, heron.
Yeah, heron, a big-ass heron.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, their wingspan's like,
pretty big.
6 or 7 feet?
Yeah, pretty big.
So, I mean, if he's off in the distance, it could look longer, or if he's closer. Light reflecting. I don't know if light reflects off birds' eyes like they do.
Maybe owls, but I don't think... Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. But
I don't know.
It's hard.
I don't think it's a heron.
I don't see a whole lot of birds at night besides owls, so...
Yeah.
I can't tell you definitively. Maybe some of our science listeners can tell us if birds have reflective eyes.
Yeah. What's a bird scientist called? An anthropologist or entomologist?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Let's see. Contractor Newell Portage told Johnson that when he aimed a flashlight at a creature in a nearby field, its eyes glowed like bicycle reflectors. Additionally, he blamed buzzing noises from his television set and the disappearance of his German Shepherd dog on the creature.
Huh.
Wildlife biologist Robert L. Smith at West Virginia University told reporters that descriptions and sightings all fit the Sandhill Crane, a large American crane almost as tall as a man with a 7-foot wingspan.
Yeah, that's probably...
Featuring circles of reddish coloring around the eyes.
Oh, so that's what they could be saying.
Yeah, so that's what they could be saying. That's one theory of this. The bird may have wandered out of its migration route and therefore was unrecognized at first because it was not native to the region.
Right.
Due to the popularity of the Batman TV series at the time, the fictional superhero Batman and his rogues gallery were prominently featured in the public eye. While the villain Killer Moth did not appear in the show, the comic book influence of both him and the Batman is believed to have some influence
on the Mothman.
So Batman, obviously, huge staple of the time. Yeah. Came on every week, same Bat channel, same Bat time, all that stuff. So, but the Mothman, or the Killer Moth was not in the movies, but he was in the comic books. And if you ever read the comic books.
See how that could have been.
So, influence. I mean, yeah, definitely could have been, they could have put 2 and 2 together, but when we get to the other sightings, I mean, we might. But, so that's where they think Mothman actually came from, was the TV show Batman.
Right.
Was influenced on it.
Just used it when they actually saw a crane.
Yeah. A lot of sightings occurred around December of that year as well. And on December 15th, 1967, the collapse of the Silver Bridge, which resulted in the death of 46 people, and the incident gave rise to the legend that's connected to the Mothman sightings, to the bridge collapse.
Yeah.
He was sighted over the bridge
Right before.
a couple days before, around the same times, and then it collapsed.
Yeah.
And it was not due to the Mothman, of course. It was due to a damaged cable holding the bridge up, because it was a suspension bridge.
Yeah.
And it just collapsed.
Right.
Bridges collapse.
Yeah, it happens.
They just do. The Mothman Prophecies is a major motion picture loosely based on the 1975 book of the same name by John Keel. According to Georgian newspapers, Svobodna Nira Gorzila, Russian ufologists, claimed that the Mothman sightings in Moscow foreshadowed the 1999 Russian apartment bombings. In 2016, WCHS-TV published a photo purported to be the Mothman, taken by an anonymous man while driving on Route 2 in Mason County. Science writer Sharon A. Hill proposed that the photo showed a bird, perhaps an owl, carrying a frog or a snake away, and wrote that there is zero reason to suspect it is the Mothman as described in the legend. There are too many far more reasonable explanations.
Right.
So obviously people see any kind of bird in the sky
And
that's unexplainable, that looks somewhat human, Mothman.
Yeah.
Or any kind of natural disaster, of course. Now, it's believed that between 1966 to 1967, Mothman reports usually state that at least 100 people saw the Mothman, with many more afraid to report their sightings. But it even prompted the Men in Black, the infamous Men in Black, to come to Point Pleasant to see what was going on. So a lot of people think that Mothman's extraterrestrial.
Yeah, because of the Men in Black being
there.
That's interesting.
Obviously, if you've ever seen the movie Mothman Prophecies, I think he's a reporter. Is he a reporter?
It's been a while since
I
I've seen
can't
that.
remember. But anyways, he goes to this. Yeah, he comes to this town, and like right up to the point where the Mothman prophecies are happening and stuff. But I think he said the movie said it in the 80s.
Yeah.
So, and I think it wasn't called Point Pleasant in the movie, was it?
I don't remember.
Or I think it was called Mount Pleasant or something. I don't think they used the same name or anything like that.
That could go both ways, though. The whole prophecy thing about it being a omen of something bad happening,
Yeah, there was also 55 sightings of the Mothman in Chicago during 2017. Or
55 sightings.
55 sightings in Chicago.
So we migrated over there, or?
I don't know, because a lot of when something bad happens, it's always reported. That's why they think that the Mothman is a harbinger of doom, or maybe a warning sign that something bad's about to happen.
Yeah.
Also, he's been credited to a cryptid, a alien, a supernatural manifestation, or a previously unknown species of animal. One of the theories that he may be an indigenous person, indigenous people's one of their gods or whatever, their great spirits, the giant bird. I can't remember what they're called.
I don't know.
But there's a giant bird in indigenous people's culture that it could be it. Maybe that it just lived.
Is that the Thunderbird?
Maybe. But I don't think it's called I think that's our translation of it. I'm not going to say what the name, if I found it, because I would butcher it, because
I'm always behind the unexplained or undiscovered animal theories when it comes to stuff like this, because in my mind, there's
a bird, though. It's also been speculated that it is a barn owl.
That's a big barn owl.
Yeah,
a man-sized barn owl. I don't know.
There is a bird out there that is so big it could carry small children.
Yeah.
And freaking goats and sheep. You can pick up a whole sheep and carry it off to kill it. It is scary as hell. Yeah. Knowing that something could just carry you off.
Swoop down and grab you if it wants to, well, it's never... None of the sightings are ever really... The people have, gotten hurt or
well...
No, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about those.
Bridge collapse.
No, I'm talking about the ones that seen them just on like the regular, just like the people that were driving in their car and they happen to see them, or whatever. In those cases,
there's been incidences that where they have shot at it, yeah. So, like I said, when going all the way back to our Skinwalker Ranch episode, when the man shot that wolf.
Yeah.
He had red eyes or crystal blue eyes, depending on the story. Shot at it, nothing happened.
Yeah.
So do you think that there's something that's manifesting into the bird or the wolf, like with the Skinwalker Ranch episode? Do you think there's something going on that's greater than us that's saying, hey, maybe that wolf there being in Skinwalker Ranch was letting him know, like, there's some bad shit going down on this ranch. You need to grab your family and get out of here because it's only going to get worse.
Right.
Or something's coming on, or maybe that wolf was causing it or whatever. It was like a spirit or something. And then, like with the Mothman, it's a harbinger of doom or maybe a warning, like if something natural does that. Because there's been other natural disasters where they've spotted a Mothman-like creature.
Yeah. So they say, yeah.
He's also been described as either a demon or an angel.
Yeah, I've heard it described as an angel before.
Yeah,
I don't know. It depends on how you want. It's kind of like a glass half full or whatever.
Absolutely, we don't know what it is. No one knows what it is. It could
either be warning us of something to come, or it could be the cause of something coming.
Yeah,
you don't know.
I mean, even if it's the cause, though, it's kind of warning you. Like you see it like a whole week or something ahead, or like it was like almost a year.
That's the part that makes me think that it's more a warning than it is the cause of the things, because the sightings happen a lot of the times like
there's too many natural disasters for it to be just like coming out to warn us, because when we see them all the time
frequently,
we would see if it was warning us or something. I just think that it's just
something we don't understand.
Yeah, we don't understand yet. But Point Pleasant holds a annual Mothman festival, and they've been doing so since 2002.
I've always wanted to go to something like that, or the alien festivals they have in Roswell and stuff like that. I've always wanted to go to those types of things.
Yeah, absolutely, it'd be fun. And they have a Mothman statue.
Really?
Yeah, right in the middle of City Square. I think that's really, really cool. I don't know, like I always found it's fascinating when like people like they what's what I was saying to say, they like take it and use it. They don't let it hold them down. Yeah. They take it by the horns and be like, we're gonna turn and make something out of this.
Yeah. Tourism.
Yeah, literally tourism. Now I bet you that town is
booming now.
Booming, absolutely. But
and that's what a lot of these places can credit their successes on too, is tourist attractions in general, whether that be like a landmark or a place like the Grand Canyon or something like that. Tourism just brings people in, just being able to hear about that. If you got something as big as the Mothman, people are going to come check it out,
Yeah, absolutely. I completely understand where that's coming from, because you've like trying to, like I said, Roswell. Like you said, Roswell. The alien ship crashed there, and I put that in quotes because we don't know if it happened or not.
Right.
But they took that and they're like, we're going to make money because people are going to come here anyways. Yeah, so why not capitalize on that? That's what I meant, capitalize. They took it and capitalized at it. So let's I know that that didn't take up as much time as I thought it would talking about that, but do you want to go into some other stuff that West Virginia is known for?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see. obviously there's obviously a lot of urban legends that come out of every state. Um, a lot of more believable than others, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, Mothman is probably the most well known,
Mm.
but we also have the Greenbrier ghost.
Okay.
Um, so, how many ghosts do you know that have helped solve a homicide case
None, I don't think.
besides movies?
Yeah. Well, none.
Well, Elva Zona Hester's ghost, alleged ghost, did just that. Reportedly helping to solve the mystery of her own demise in 1897. Not only did she solve a murder, she solved her own murder.
Yeah.
Almost reminds me of that movie with
kid.
Patrick Swayze. Remember Ghost?
Ghost?
No, Ghost. Yeah,
Ghost.
it's called
I know what
Ghost.
you're talking about.
Yeah, he solves his own murder.
Yeah, there's a kid too that did that was supposedly reincarnated and led the people to the person that killed him. Even led him to where his body was in a previous life. Yeah, it's crazy.
Nah, he found that body before that.
How did he knew details that she shouldn't have known though? It was weird.
Then that just makes me suspect maybe his dad did it or grandpa did it.
That was
his
a
grandpa
neighbor.
told him. It was a neighbor?
Yeah, it was a neighbor.
Then his neighbor told him. Like, I've killed people before you, and just
Why
told
would
him
he
about
just
it.
tell a random kid that he killed somebody, another kid? Why
Maybe
would
he
you
was
do that?
planning on killing him, so he didn't care.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Hester married Aramis Stribing Shrew in 1896. The next year, she mysteriously passed. Despite the local custom in Greenbrier County, West Virginia, of letting the ladies of the town clean and dress a woman's corpse, Shue handled all of it and behaved oddly at the funeral. Hester's mother, suspicious and grieving, prayed to learn the name of the culprit. She began to have nightly visions of her daughter's ghost explaining that she had been slain by her husband. Hester's mother took the information to the local prosecutor, who then helped dig up the body. Through an autopsy, they learned that Hester had been attacked and strangled. Shue was later convicted of murder. So that's interesting. She solved her own murder.
Handled his own. That was weird to get.
Yeah, he was acting
Anybody
suspicious as shit. And
been like, hey, no, this dude's 100% the killer.
Obviously, I don't believe in ghosts, so I don't think that she really did it. I think the mother she already suspected.
Yeah, she very heavily suspected, and all she needed was the cops to do the rest.
The prosecutor to be like, man, something's not up.
Yeah,
it's not adding up.
That's cool though.
Yeah, that is cool. It's a good story. It's definitely a good story. It'd be a really good movie. The Gray Flats Ghost. While walking along the Gray Flats Trail near Beckley, West Virginia, a group of friends encountered what can only be referred to as a shadow person. The figure appeared to be completely black and wearing a long coat and a wide-brimmed hat. When the group encountered it, it rose up out of the view in an inhuman way. Yeah. One of the friends suddenly became sick to her stomach, and then the group fled in terror. Other local explorers say they used to be a farmhouse on the part of that trail, which might have something to do with the apparition. So it came in front of them, and she got sick.
Yeah. Sick with fear, probably.
I
so
guess.
Scared she felt like throwing up.
I don't know. I guess that's a common reaction. I don't know. I don't think I've ever been so scared where I'm sick.
I haven't either, but you never know.
I don't know. I've been so startled, like I've almost shit myself.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, like that, and you're just like, good thing I didn't have to poop, or it would have been all over me. The Bauer House of Winfield. Paranormal investigators who are local to Winfield, West Virginia, have many stories about the Bauer House. Built by Captain John Bauer around the year 1841, after Bauer passed, the house sat empty for multiple generations. According to local lore, everyone who has been inside reports a general feeling of unease, and some people have even reported seeing a headless horseman from the Civil War era roaming the premises. The house is featured on the TV show Haunted Collector, where the current owner has turned it into, or who has said he might turn it into a B&B, which has worked really well with the Lizzie Borden house.
Capitalize on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Capitalize. Dude, if you have anything bad happen to you,
Yeah.
capitalize on that
Try
shit.
to do a good thing.
I know. Make a TikTok, man. You'll get a shitload of followers.
Mm-hmm.
The Flatwoods Monster. The Flatwoods Monster is an entity that haunts an area in Braxton County, West Virginia. Those who come into contact with it report supernatural encounters. It's known to roam the flat woods with its long, stringy arms and make everyone it comes in contact with sick as a dog.
Wow.
It first appeared in 1952 to a group of young boys out playing near the elementary school. They witnessed what looked like a bright light falling from the sky and quickly told their mother, who enlisted a young member of the National Guard to accompany her and the boys to the site.
Mm-hmm.
The group came into contact with the monster. The group then came in contact with the monster. It was taller than a man and had a spade-shaped head, metallic dress, and glowing eyes. Some of the group felt sick to their stomachs, experienced throat and nose swelling, and vomited for days after seeing the creature.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Extraterrestrial, obviously, because like he fell from the sky. But
yeah, some people believe that the monster is an extraterrestrial, like you, Dom.
Yeah.
Others blame exposure to toxic chemicals like mustard gas for the illness, which it could have been. It could have been
a hallucination of mustard gas.
Yeah, well,
Like
it's
they got
1952.
gassed and then
It could have been
they hallucinated it.
a Russian that landed, like crashed into like maybe a nuclear powered plane, and they just got radiation poisoning. I don't know either. Like I said, I'm trying to think of rational explanations besides an alien.
Alien.
The legend of Wizard Clip. According to legend, in 1794, a traveling stranger was boarding at a house in Middleway, West Virginia, when he became ill and asked for a Catholic priest to perform his last rites. The man who owned the boarding house, Adam Livingston, reportedly told the stranger that he was a Lutheran who did not like priests and that no Catholic churches were near the family home. The stranger passed without receiving his last rites.
Oh, shit.
Was buried on the property because he had no identifying papers with him, and began haunting the house.
I would too.
Yeah. Like, no, I'm not Catholic, bitch. Like, that. I don't care. I'm not a religious person, but if someone asked me to coincide with or like, I don't know the word, but to give them the last rites to the priest, I would find a freaking priest because that's their last dying wish. Like,
it's ridiculous.
Livingston and his family began to hear the sound of footsteps around the boarding house and would find their possessions with large half moons and other shapes clipped into them by invisible scissors. The family also suffered misfortunes. Livestock perished, a fire started in the barn and burned it down, money disappeared. Scared, Livingston finally sent for a Catholic priest to cleanse the house.
Oh, wow. What a dick. I'm going to wait.
Yeah.
I've already denied this guy his last rites.
But he turns to a Catholic priest.
On the account that we're Lutheran here. We don't want no Catholic priests here. So he doesn't get his last rites. But goddamn, I'm tired of all these doors slamming and barns burning down and cattle getting killed and money getting stolen. So now I'm going to call a Catholic priest.
Yep.
God.
The hauntings seemed to stop until a second priest came and determined that there was also demon activity at work.
Yeah.
Through his prayers and rituals, the ordeal ended. Livingston dedicated this 38-acre property to the Catholic Church. To this day, the Priestfield Pastoral Center sits upon the site.
Wow, that's crazy.
Dude, if I was this, I would haunt him harder.
Forever.
I would haunt the house
it at the
harder.
House either. I would have followed his ass.
Yeah, I would have haunted it harder. Like, bro, this all could have been avoided if you just want to call the priest to begin with. And then he dedicated it.
I know. It's such a slap in the face. It's ridiculous. So now this ghost that came back to haunt the shit out of this guy.
Unless he turned him Catholic. Like it was like a, like you don't believe in Catholicism, but
right, well,
I'm going to convert you.
Yeah.
But no, I think he was just fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Screaming Jenny. After the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad was constructed in the early 1820s, a legion of poor people moved into a series of abandoned storage sheds situated near the tracks. One local legend tells the story of a woman named Jenny who caught fire one evening while eating dinner. In an attempt to put herself out, she ran towards the tracks and was hit by a passenger train.
Oh my God. I guess she didn't hear stop, drop, and roll.
No. She perished on impact and was buried in an unmarked grave. To this very day, railroad engineers are said to see Jenny's burning body running onto the tracks on the anniversary of her demise, repeating her tragedy. Death loop.
Yeah. Poor girl's just sitting there trying to eat her dinner and catches a spark. She's on fire. She's never been taught stop, drop, and roll. She's running for her life trying to find a water source.
Which never made sense to me because we have been around fire for thousands of years.
Yeah.
You would think we would know how to put ourselves out. You think would be that would be the one thing we're really, really good at is putting out fires.
Yeah.
Okay, the white things, sometimes called sheep squatch. The white things are a breed of cryptid that is said to roam the hills of West Virginia. This animal-like beast is known by many names, including white devils or devil dogs. Lore says these creatures are a death omen and can resemble everything from bears to cows. The creatures are allegedly very fast and described by Rosemary Ann Gilly as having too many legs.
Yeah.
All right, I have one more, and then we'll go ahead and finish this episode up. Huntington's disappearing woman. You don't have to look far to find urban legends about disappearing hitchhikers and women in white who walk along the rural roads of America. As we've said numerous times in this podcast, everyone has a woman in white. But Huntington, West Virginia has had its own version of this tale since at least the 1940s. Sometimes called the Ghost of Fifth Street, most versions tell the bride-to-be who was tragically slain before her wedding and appears to drivers sobbing in a white skirt and asking for a ride.
Another woman in white.
Yep, a woman in white. So those were urban legends of West Virginia.
There's some very interesting things besides just the Mothman itself is pretty fascinating. But
West Virginia had a lot of good urban legends.
Some cryptids in there too.
Yeah, cryptids. I love cryptids. I obviously believe in them.
Yeah.
The one thing I do believe is cryptids.
I don't know. Anything with the name of a sheep.
Sheep
squatch. I'm going to stay away from.
Also, there is a lot of Bigfoot sightings as well in West Virginia.
Oh yeah.
Just because there's like
lots of woods,
lots of forest. Probably one of, I wouldn't say the biggest state for forests, but that's like 80% of it is like national forest. So, what did you guys think of those urban legends? Did you have any of them that did you have any experience with Mothman? That's what I want to know. Did you guys have any experiences with Mothman or any of these other urban legends? Let us know in the link below in the description. And we will see you next episode for something that we're going to try something different. Something I wanted to bring next season, but obviously we couldn't do it because Chupacabra was supposed to be next week.
Right.
Or next episode, and it wasn't because we put it with Skinwalkers last week. So we're going to do something in the unsolved aspect.
Cool.
So we've been wanting to do this series for a while and just haven't found the right place for it. But next episode will be the right place for it. So we'll start it out and hope you guys enjoy it. And again, we'll continue these urban legends. I love them so much and everything else. But thank you guys for listening, and we will see you next episode for our first in our series of Unsolved.
Thanks for listening.